for supporting this wonderful foundation and the Stax Music Academy. You know, there's not a lot of money around these days for music education, and it's a very worthwhile thing. I know I don't have to tell you, but you get a lot of bang for your buck with music education, not just teaching people about music, but teaching kids about discipline, culture in general. It just makes them better human beings all the way around. And it's very important to keep this kind of stuff alive. It's interesting because we heard George Duke, I think, is going to be here next year. And George Duke's from our hometown, Marin County, California. And there's a wonderful music teacher there called Bob Greenwood at Tamalpais High School, who was singularly responsible for me and my band, George Duke, Bill Champlin, and a bunch of other people. So, you know, music education just goes a long, long way, and it's a wonderful thing to support, and it speaks really well of a community that supports a music education program like this. So, congratulations to all of you for that. I want to say when we first had the idea for this project, needless to say, it was a little daunting because, you know, we're basically suburban white kids from San Francisco, and we're going to play Stax music, so it was kind of a bit apprehensive. But we really did grow up listening to this stuff. I now realize that my musical taste was formed by David Porter and Isaac Hayes and Mr. Bell here, who my constant radio station in Marin County was KDIA in Oakland, which was, that I later learned, was a sister station of WDIA in Memphis. And in some cases, the only, you know, Ain't No Need in Crying Rants Out, and we heard that back to back over and over. I mean, that was the best record I ever heard in my life, and I can't find people that have even heard it. So, for years and years, I was fed my musical taste and my culture by these two gentlemen along with a couple others. So I feel like, you know, I've always known this stuff. I also want to give a lot of credit to the band, my band, four of which have been with me for 32 years. That's the common thread that unites my band is being raised in the psychedelic 60s. We only wanted to listen to soul music, and I guess it was our way of rebelling. And this type of music is, well, in many cases, our older siblings and our parents and stuff were into the psychedelic stuff, so it was our music that we called our own. And as you know, this is really band music, and that's what we love about it, the fact that it is the diversity of personalities that you hear within a band is what's exciting about it. It's the subtle part, the ambience, what have you, the synergism that goes on between musicians actually playing together. And that's what we've always loved, and that really is a team sport. So credit to my band, who did a marvelous job, and to the Memphians who helped us out. Not only Jimmy Gaines, our co-producer, and Curry Weber and Lydia, who are here, the engineers, but Jackie Johnson, Pie Hill, Danielle's around here somewhere, Reba Russell, who most of you know, Bertrand Brown, and a lot of the singers who helped us out. So to the musicians, thank you very much. And finally, you know, I said we didn't really we didn't take this project lightly, and I thought in the very beginning that if we were going to do it, we had to kind of go to Memphis. Jimmy was here already. It made sense. He had engineered our sports record and a couple other records, and he'd since come back to Memphis, and so we hatched it. It was all part of the plan. I figured we better come right back to where it was at and get a sense if this was going to work or not. And the day I arrived at Ardent, the first day, I met John Fry face-to-face for the first time. And, you know, had a nice conversation. He told us two fabulous stories. We requested just one story a day, John, is all we asked. And then he walked out of the studio, and I said to Jimmy, I said, now I know why we're here. He said, well, I said, well, we'll know if this project's going to work or not right away. He says, what do you mean? I said, well, if John keeps coming back into the studio, we're okay. So if John doesn't come back in the studio, we're in trouble. And fortunately, John did come back in the studio, and he's here tonight, so we took that as a good sign. And lastly, I want to say that we really, you know, I so respect this music and these gentlemen that to think that And this evening is the best thing that's happened. This is creative circle for me, to think that we could be part of moving this ball along. You know, you think back in those days, Booker T and the MGs right here in this room, 2 black guys and 2 white guys that didn't put their picture on the cover, and that segregated South. Today we have a much more integrated society. The music's become segregated. There's the black music over here, and the country music over here, and the hard rock over here. It's just it's a shame. And to think of the wonderful cooperation and coordination, everybody, from the head of the label on down, trying to make wonderful music to cheer the world up. For me to think that I could be any part of that, pushing that ball down the field a little bit, is a great honor and a great privilege, and I'm very proud to share the stage with these gentlemen. Thank you all for coming.